to Spark FM. Online.
Yeah!
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Tues.
I was waiting for the end of this riff.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the end of the riff. Good morning, everybody. And I was going to come in strong, Tristan, damn it.
You don't know the September song.
Yeah.
What's going on? Let's skip it.
September.
There we go. Check, baby.
1, 2, all of that.
We are in the building. I am kind of high, ain't I? Up.
High up.
Yeah. All right. There we go. No. I do not indulge in the recreational druggalitos this early in the morning, because it would render me incapable of functioning.
Oh wow.
You know, I can only do those kind of things when I have some time.
On vacation.
And on regulation. On regulation. Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Today is September 3rd. When we left here, we had like a week left to September. Now we are on the 3rd of it. So September is moving on by with the quickness. It is going to where it needs to go. It is doing what it needs to do. It is also the most bestest month of all of the year, which is September, because it was a month that a princess, queen, empress, emperor, king of the world was born into this world. That is me. That would be me. And also now,
You was barely born in September.
my young son, my young first son, is also a September baby. He turned 1 year old this past weekend, and we celebrated with a small cookout. That was not for him, but we made it for him. We still didn't even sing no damn birthday to the damn boy.
Why do black folks do that?
What? Sing
Why,
happy
why do we always have the baby shower that's not for the baby?
It's for the adults to come and have a good time. It's because, none of these things are ever for the children because they don't really care. They're not really remembering. So these are more celebrations for our goals into getting them into a new life or a new setting or a new year. This is mostly for the parentals, the parental units. But yes, September is that month. It is that month.
And today is our sister cousin's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Shanae.
Shanae, it's your mother birthday.
Yeah.
Your mother birthday.
Yeah.
What would she say? Mother chicken or mother?
Yeah, exactly.
Mother sausage
Mother
or something.
flucking.
Yeah, she wouldn't even go to flucking. She would like mother sausage or
Mother
something.
clucking.
Mother clucking.
Yeah.
Mother clucking.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to
Happy birthday.
you.
We need a nice happy birthday drop.
We do. We need like happy birthday, like something
Yeah.
obnoxious and ridiculous.
Oh,
I like
fat
that.
man school.
Oh yes, there's so many things that we have to go through, but we'll do a quick check-in first. Miss Tony, how you doing these days, honey?
I am doing okay. It's been a time in my life that has been a time of reflection and thought and contemplation, and that is where I am. But today I feel a little all right. I think I might have it. Come true, Jesus. Amen. What is going on? So Friday we left the show. We took the boys to Codzilla. Big shout out to my friend Amanda Max, who hooked us up and sent us on the Codzilla ride. It was an adventure. That was so much fun. We went there. We weren't really knowing what to expect. We got soaking wet. The water in the harbor is salt.
It was so weird for me to taste salt. It's not that I went in there not thinking that it was salt water. It was just a shock to my system.
It was so weird.
It was so cool, though.
We went out to Deer Island, out in front of Deer Island, and then we waited, and the music started playing and the sonar, and then Godzilla started chasing us through the waters. And then
is that what happened?
Yes, we went rip running through the waters, and we got splashed and splashed and splashed and soaked, and that was really, really fun. And we had a nice walk through the whole of downtown.
We walked through about 7 miles.
The entire downtown. From North Station to downtown Boston. And we had a nice dinner at the new Canes that is opened. It's the Gold Canes down there. It's Canes 28th anniversary, golden anniversary. So it's the Gold Canes, and we ate in there.
I will say that Cane do need to come off of them prices a little bit, though. Because it's really chicken fingers and bread and french fries.
Yeah.
You should not be charging nobody $12 for that.
It is.
I mean, I guess it's average with every other chicken and french fries you get, but there's not. I love Cane's, and I want to say that I really do love Cane's, but Cane's ain't got a lot to it. There's not a lot going on in a Cane's meal. There's literally 5 items on the menu.
Is it 5?
It's chicken fingers, a chicken sandwich, french fries, bread, coleslaw.
That's it, and then drinks.
And drinks. Yeah. It's 5 items on the menu.
Items. Yeah.
That's smart.
It is smart.
Very smart.
It's doing simple very well.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't know. Yeah, you know, yeah.
I love it. I think it's good. Like, it's good regular chicken fingers and fries. It's not super seasoned.
Yep.
It's not whatever. It's like everybody can enjoy it, from the little natives to the little, other natives to the little colonizers.
Agreed.
All of it. All of it. Yeah.
And it's a nice environment. It's a party. It's a cool place. So that was that. But that was pretty much our weekend. No. Then what did we do? Saturday, we kind of just hung out. We went to the backyard jam at Kofi's house, which was really fun.
Yes.
I had a great time.
I love Bajans.
Bajans are fun.
They are a fun bunch.
That is a fun, and they talk so much. Foolishness. Such a good time there at the backyard gym. Looking forward to what happens in the winter over there. And then I went home and I was asleep by 10 o'clock because I was sauced when I got home. I was good and good. And then Sunday we had a little family gatherings for Sparkel's birthday. Not really, but we did.
I call him Stockel because he is a very stalking.
He is stalker. So we had a great time over there with the family. That was really, really nice and cool. And then yesterday my sister and I went shopping all day, it seemed like.
Which was only 4 hours, which is crazy.
No, it was food shopping.
It's for things. For
back to school.
Necessaries.
So we went to Aldi, and I had a nice time in Aldi.
Really?
Yes. Aldi's got some good things,
so
good prices,
Aldi
really nice.
Reminds me of a Save-A-Lot.
Yes.
The way that it's set up in
it's
there.
very warehouse.
Yes.
You know what it reminds me of? The food pantry in the church basement.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Aldi's is a food pantry.
Yeah, so we went, and then we went to Market Basket. Sauce went to Marshall's and found some good deals. And then we went to Walmart. And we also took a little walk into Burlington Coat Factory. You know, that Brockton out there by the mall is a nice shopping place. There's lots and lots of things out there. Food options, shopping options, and things like that. So that was the day, and then we went home and had
Brockton, Brockton's a cool little area. And sometimes it might seem a little violent, but it's where it's not.
It's
where
a little
it's not
rough
violent.
on the edges.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My gold teeth when I was living in Brockton. My friends, I left my friends went in my car door one time on the side, and went to go pick them up. I remember went outside to go get them, gone.
Someone stole your fronts?
They stole the fronts. Car broken into, stole the fronts.
That's
I mean,
really,
they're smart though. They can still melt it down, but still though.
Yeah, but this is I mean, you would hope that that's what they were stealing it for. That they were stealing it to melt it down. Because what you gonna?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do with somebody's gold fronts from their teeth is?
But we did not go to Brooklyn.
No,
we did not go. And then, you know, I've had mixed feelings about it the whole entire weekend. So to this weekend was Labor Day weekend. And depending on the video that I saw, I either wanted to go or was glad I wasn't there. A lot of the Parkway videos, don't want to be there. Stinking Dutty, I should have probably been there.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
That was the only thing I really wanted to go to.
Me too. Next year, we just got to get the ticket, go there, and come home, because that is something that I'm very, very, very saddened that I missed.
I was up to like 6 a.m. I'm like, I had to Carnival to Banca.
I think that
I'm
if
like,
you had
damn.
sent a text message and said,
Let's
"Let's just go,"
Yeah.
I think that we would have been
Yeah,
like,
we would have went.
Yeah.
You know, because Saturday night I was like, I should just drive to New York.
Yep. Yep. And she did. She absolutely did.
And then on Sunday, one of our friends was like, "Oh, we about to leave right now," and I was like, "You didn't say nothing." And she was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we're about to leave in an hour," and I would have still went. I don't know what for, but just to be there. I think that this year, for the first time, is when I realized that New York Carnival weekend is like a weekend in Miami.
Yeah.
Right.
With
Yeah.
parties
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
realized that before.
We never look at it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never looked at it
We
like
always
that
think
before.
Juve Carnival.
Right.
And I used to go down before and go, there was a big cooler fete that they used to
We
have
went-
all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
we went to that.
And we used to go down there for that cooler fete and then come home the next day or stay for Juve and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I do think that we need to reevaluate how we think about it and go for the parties.
Yeah.
And then come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I spoke to my good friend Roro, and I was asking Roro if he was going out there because he knows all the lit stuff going on. And he said, "You make the list like you make the list for Miami." You telling me to make the? I'm like, make the list. I thought about it, so then I actually went and did some research. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a Kess thing. There was
brunch
a
and soca.
brunch and soca, foam
Sunny
party,
side up,
da-da-da-da.
yeah.
I'm like, they do all of that? I
Soca
never
brainwash.
I never realized there was a soca brainwash too.
Friday night.
That's
yeah.
a big soca brainwash down there.
Oh, we got to do it over. We're gonna do it better.
Look at that soca junkies over here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you hear music, you're like, I want to be there because I heard the music. But also, what happened here in Boston too? There was a big block party downtown.
Yeah, Black at It. Black Outside.
Okay.
Shout out to So Phenomenal branding agency, Bent Entertainment, and I think it was Kickback. This was their second year for Labor Day weekend, where I won't say the entire, because there's a lot of black people here. There was a lot of black people outside in downtown Crossing having the best time of their lives. I, however, did not attend. Antisocial. But it looked like a grand old time.
Yeah.
A grand time.
I did not
Then
know
they
about
had
that.
they had the Usher was here on Thursday. Then they had the after party for Usher at Big Night. It was a Silk R&B after party. There was
There was mad.
The Roots were at
the
MGM.
Roots
Yeah.
was at MGM.
And those tickets were $19.
Girl.
God damn, this is crazy.
That was $19 to see the Roots. Music Soul Child will be here this weekend at City
Oh,
Winery.
the roots were Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tennessee.
wait.
Yeah. Arrested Development and somebody else.
No. Hey,
Privilege.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Loud Minds. He was backstage toking it up with them.
Oh, that's
Privilege.
awesome.
Shout out to him.
I didn't realize I realized the other day that well, nothing. I'm not gonna say it. Anyhow.
What was you gonna say? Now I want to know. But
I'm not gonna say it. But there was things to do this weekend. I didn't do much of anything. However, I was I wish that I had done all the things, but I didn't have the energy to do it. My energy is completely drained.
Was it cold on the boat?
What boat? We went on the boat.
Coachella.
it was. It
It
was.
was cold?
It was
Yeah.
cold, and then we got soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah, but then
Do you know you were gonna get wet? Like, is that a?
So I knew we were gonna get wet. I didn't know we were gonna get soaking wet.
there was one point where I couldn't see anything because it was just.
And it was like it happened randomly. You would just be going, and all of a sudden it would like stop, and it was like, plap.
I have one memory like that. Have y'all ever been on the Niagara Falls boat?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I remember. I don't remember, but I remember.
You remember?
with your grandmother
I
too.
kind of like.
Mommy was pregnant with you.
But we went. They used to take. Remember, we was in the
Yeah.
back seat of somebody's Subaru
Station
or
wagon.
something.
Yep.
Like laying down as a bed.
Yep.
Like 3 of us.
Yeah.
Me, Justin, and Javi. I
Yep.
think or something
Yep.
like that. It was crazy.
We used to do a caravan to Niagara Falls every year, the family. So it used to be like 5 cars full of people and drive up to Niagara Falls and spend the time for the weekend.
And your grandmother.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
And my mom has a picture of her when she was pregnant with Danielle when we went on the boat into the falls. And then, like a few years later, then Danielle also went. But Uncle David and his family were in Niagara Falls this past weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Were they?
Yep.
Oh,
All of
that's
them were up
sweet.
there and went up to the falls. I'm like, why the hell y'all didn't invite us?
That is cool.
Yeah, but so yeah, but lots of things happened. Lots of good things happened in Boston over the weekend. But there was also a lot of bull doo doo in Boston over this weekend as well. And we'll get into the local news so you can learn about that.
But before we get into the local news, this will be the theme of the day. It is Super Tuesday. A lot of people don't know that today is a primary election here in Boston.
Right.
And I do have to apologize to you guys because usually we're more on top of it. But we will go through everything that's on the ballot, everything that you need to know. These are the elections that actually count. These are the elections that put people into place that are going to help you out in the long run so that Massachusetts can continue being the little cute state that it is right now with all of our provisions and all kinds of stuff. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But in the meantime, let's start the show.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387. Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
The all-new Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
Till morning.
Nice.
On the sunny morning, we wake to the sun to
To
rise.
rise.
Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Boil down and I boil down. What does it say?
To rise.
Mud down and I oil down.
Mud down and
down and I
I mud
oil
down and I
down.
oil down. Oil down and a boil down.
Oh, I see Bobby Steels is here.
Hi, Bobby Steele.
Whatever, Bobby Steels, because yesterday I tried to con Bobby Steels into having a barbecue, and all he did was LOL me. And I was like, because I butt dialed him by accident, so when he texted me back, I was like, no, my bad. However, do you got hot dogs? And I thought that was a clear indication that there should be some hot dogs. Tristan, did you do some hot dogs this weekend?
Listen, black people, y'all like the front. Everybody like the front. Everybody like, I'm coming. And then they want to start hitting you up at 11 o'clock.
Like, what you saying? You still out there?
Yo, y'all outside? What?
I thought about it, and I feel like I was planning to go because I was hungry, and then I don't know what happened. I think the wind blew, but I also feel like I thought we was gonna do it yesterday.
We're gonna do a little plan.
Yeah, we got to do a little more planning in the daytime. Just and I can't go
Late
out
night.
in the nighttime.
I like the fall. I like the fall season.
Me
Fall-
too, because
fall
we're a
weather's
hoodie.
nice. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna roast some marshmallows.
What is it called? S'mores.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like.
Today is s'mores is good.
I don't like marshmallows. I like s'mores, but I don't like marshmallows.
Marshmallows is pork, you know.
Marshmallows is pork.
It's the gluten in it, not the what is it? Not the gluten,
Oh,
the,
it's the gelatin.
the glycerin. That gelatin.
Not the glycerin.
Today is Tuesday, September 3rd. It's going to be sunny all day today. High near 75 degrees. Winds in the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that means it's going to be a pretty mild day. Today we have Chief Shagun Idowu coming in today for his quarterly check-in. So we'll be talking to him later about all things economy and inclusion and opportunity here in Boston. Again, it is Super Tuesday. It is the primary voting day. And we will start the show with that. What to expect on this primary election today? Let's see. Boston is primary election day in Massachusetts. More than 750,000 voters are expected to cast ballots in a variety of races across the state. Here's what you need to know about voting on Tuesday and some of the notable races being contested on primary day. What election is being held in Massachusetts today? So we're starting from the very, very basics, letting you guys know all that is going on. Massachusetts is holding its state primaries on Tuesday, September 3rd, which is today. The offices on the ballot are U.S. Senator, U.S. Representative, Governor's Counselor, State Senator, State Representative, Register of Deeds, Clerk of Courts, and County Commissioner in some counties. When are polls open in Massachusetts? Polls open this morning at 7 a.m. and they will close at 8 p.m. across Massachusetts. To find your voting area, we are going to post the link in the comment section, but all you have to go to is Where Do I Vote MA. Again, that's Where Do I Vote MA.gov. You don't got to know anything. Just type it into Google, Where Do I Vote? And it will give you what you need to know. Are you registered to vote? You can click here to check your voting registration. Well, you can click a link if you guys should know if you're registered to vote or not at this point. The state primary election, Senator Elizabeth Warren is seeking a third term in the U.S. Senate. She is running unopposed in the Democratic primary. 3 Republicans are competing to face Warren in the general election, Jesus Christ. They are engineer Robert Antonelli, Quincy City Council President Ian Kane, and attorney John Deaton. Why this is important? Because when we're talking about the House and the Senate when it comes to the presidential election, and if you guys have been hearing everybody say, vote blue down, this is where it starts. We need Senator Warren back into office, or else we'll get a Republican. Mm-hmm. And have you been seeing the Republican governor commercials?
No. Oh, Kelly
and then the two dudes, like they're going back and forth on such big conservative issues like abortion and border control and sanctuary states and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's a little bit scary if you think about it.
I heard a commercial last night with Kelly Ayotte, and she was like, I will fight against sanctuary cities.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh.
I will fight for the dismissal of abortion and to uphold Roe v. Wade. Like, these are the type of commercials that are going on in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And that is scary. So, Massachusetts U.S. House primary election. None of the 9 Democrats representing Massachusetts in Congress are facing primary challenges. Republicans are only fielding candidates in 2 of the races. Robert Blake and James Govastos and Daniel Kelly are vying to face Rep. Stephen Lynch of South Boston in the 8th District and Dan Sullivan in the sole Republican running to take a rep. I was wondering, with all the black people in Boston that we realize that are here all the time, why do you think that there's so short of people running for office? Of black people running for office?
I always think about that too. And then I always think about politics, like, it really is easy to get yourself a seat. And if you think about something and you think about like a niche that's missing, look at, like, I don't want to use Kamala like as an example, but like she's like, everything just lines up right.
Yeah, she's a woman, she's black, she's educated.
She has a white husband.
She has a stepchild. She has, she's of Indian descent. So even those who oppose of black people can have, they love nice Asian Indians, like these are, you're right. The only thing she's not is, homosexual.
If you're in a small town, it's easy for you to be a mayor or something like that. You got people like Tiffany Henyard.
Massachusetts governor council races. There are 3 competitive primary races for governor's counselor in Massachusetts. All of the Democratic side, the governor's council votes on judicial nominees and other appointments by the governor and weighs in on pardons and commutations. 4 people are competing for the Democratic nomination for the currently vacant 2nd district seat in central Massachusetts. They are Tamisha Civil, Muriel Kramer, Sean Murphy, and David Reservitz. Incumbent District 3 Councilor Marilyn Petito of Watertown is being challenged again by Mara Dolan of Concord. And in the 4th District, Christopher Iannella of Boston facing a primary election from Stacey Borden of Boston and Ronald Ayakobuchi of Quincy. A lot of us here listening, including myself, won't know all of these names. I'm just letting you guys know what is going to be on the ballot. So when you guys are going up there, you are not confused with a pop quiz. You don't know what's going on. Suffolk County Supreme Judicial Court of Courts, Boston City Councilor at Large Erin Murphy and Public Defender Allison Cartwright are running to replace Maura Doyle as clerk of the Supreme Judicial Court of Suffolk County. Doyle is retiring after 28 years in the office. The clerk is responsible for the single justice caseload of Massachusetts' highest court and oversees bar admission in the state. We have heard a lot from Allison Cartwright. She is a black woman who has been out here campaigning and have been at very different events. She has a very great platform, so if you want to check her out, a lot of us already know about Erin Murphy. She is a counselor at large sitting in office right now.
Document you want. Where you at?
Oh, so hold on a second. Let me give it to Tristan so that he can see what yo estaqueando come about. It's at the end of that page, Tristan.
What I am talking about.
You welcome. Voter registration. There's a voter registration scam warning. Secretary of State Bill Galvin said last week that some voters have reported getting text messages telling them they are not registered to vote and directs them to a link to supposedly fix issues with their registration. He said scammers may be trying to steal voters' personal information and emphasize that election officials in Massachusetts will never send a text message about voter registration. Anyone with questions about their registration can go to Vote in Mass. Now, that's not all that's on the ballot. This might be a little boring to you guys, but we want you guys to be bored here when it comes to knowing the information. There are also 5 questions on the ballot. 5 questions on the ballot. We have question 1, the state auditor's authority to audit the legislature. I don't know what that means.
State what?
Sorry, everybody. In Massachusetts. Sorry. Types of petitions and ballot questions. Okay. Here we go. Ballot questions on your ballot today are what they are.
Ballot questions 101.
101. How to vote. Vote by. Let me, Tony, read that thing that I sent you guys in the text message system while
Text.
I pull it up. Yeah.
Text or
I text it to you.
Okay.
It's a blue sign. All right, everybody, give me 1 second. We got to get you guys this information.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Yes,
Here we
right.
go. Today we vote. So clerk for Supreme Court. This is a cheat sheet.
This is a cheat sheet, but just go into the questions because I don't want to persuade anybody to vote a certain way.
Question 1 is the state auditor's authority to audit the legislature.
What that mean?
I don't know. It's big words. I have no idea. The state auditor's authority. So is the state auditor allowed to change the legislature?
Yes.
Question number 2, elimination of MCAS as high school graduation requirement.
Let's take it off.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Question number 3, unionization for transportation network drivers. Question 4, limited legalization and regulation of certain natural psychedelic substances. So should they legalize? That's the legality of shrooms, right? And then question number 5 is minimum wage for tipped workers. And I agree with that. I think that tipped workers should at least make minimum wage and then the tips on top of it. Is that what that is?
Yes.
All right. So question of the cheat sheet only gives us cheat sheet answers to 2 of the questions. In the first Suffolk district, though, Jawan Skeens is running for Suffolk district representative.
Yeah. See, people, this is the time that we would... Okay, 2 things.
Yes.
To find out very much more detail about these things going on, we want you to tune in to Politics and Prosecco today from 1 to 3.
Oh, yeah.
She will be having... Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, Mayor Michelle Wu, Mayor Michelle Wu, Senator Liz Miranda. She will also be having on Governor Council candidate Maura Dolan and Governor Council Marilyn Devani and State Rep candidate Haris Hardaway.
Oh, it's going to be a full house.
It's going to be a full house today. So this is the show that we'll be able to break down all of the petition questions so that you guys know exactly what you're petitioning for. But Tony, repeat the ones again that are on the ballot this for whatever.
So the ones that are on the ballot, they are question 1 through 5, right? And those questions are: question 1, state auditor's authority to audit the legislature. Question 2, elimination of MCAS as high school graduation requirement. Question 3, unionization for transportation network drivers. Question 4, limited legalization and regulation of certain natural psychedelic substances. And question 5, minimum wage for tipped workers.
How do you guys feel about the shrooms, about the psychedelic things?
I don't think we need that.
You don't think? Because why you don't like it?
I don't know. Because it says psychedelic.
It's like, I mean, it's shrooms. You get a little
that sounds unhinged to me.
Okay.
Psychedelic is also therapeutic for some people.
I know, because I do know that a lot of people who microdose in order to regulate themselves in a lot of ways, and that's okay, more power to you for doing that. But the legalization of it, I don't know. It's just very mass and cast for me, and they are already zombies in The Walking Dead.
I don't think shrooms are people. I don't think people are addicted. Have you ever heard of people addicted to shrooms?
I haven't, but
I think if it's legalized and you have access to it all the time, you have potential to build up a habit.
But that's what people would say about weed too.
Well, yeah, people who smoke weed a lot are addicted to it. I don't care if you say that it's not.
Listeners,
people who smoke weed a lot, who have to smoke weed a lot, are addicted to it.
I want to know what the listeners.
Yeah, you guys. Let me see. The psychedelic one. I'm with you, Tony, a little bit. I guess it really do depend. You know, like it really do depend on how you are using these things, and I do feel like the excess of anything is an addiction. Period. But I do feel like just how they legalize alcohol and marijuana, I feel like shroom, who has some healing properties, can be regulated as well. And I don't think that anybody who is not already into shrooms might go into shrooms because they are legal. They might try it, but I think that if you wanted to get shrooms right now, you would just go get the shrooms wherever you get them from. So it's a very weird state. You know, like you gotta give people enough rope to hang themselves. Is that how they say it?
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
Empress said we're addicted to tobacco that we put in the weed.
Yeah, that's true too. The grabber. Yeah, the grabber.
Grabber that.
Mm-hmm.
And she also said should have never been illegal in the first place. And Empress Divine, are you a mushroom connoisseur?
Touch another again.
Oh, is she?
To go back over in the weed. Yeah.
And Nafa said that some functioning addicts exist, and I agree with that.
I agree.
I told you guys about I had my trip.
Oh, yeah.
Give them a quick reminder.
You said in the wilderness, right?
Maybe now about 4 years now. It was Halloween night. Did little shrooms.
On Halloween?
Oh no!
Psychopath.
It was somebody's birthday. It was
peer pressure.
It just was not a good night.
I
ended up crying in my mama's arms, and
that sounds like a Bushwick Bill type situation.
Cocaine bear.
This year Halloween
what it
on
was,
the weekend.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. It was everything coming at once. It was just like everything coming at once.
Yeah, and I already have things coming, so I don't need anything extra.
But it was like a flush though. After you came out of it, it was like
relief.
Yeah, you felt relief. You just felt like restructured, and it's like,
try a little shroom.
Can't really explain it,
but how much do you take though?
When you say, because when people say microdose, is it a little pinch, like a pinch, or is it like a stick of mushroom?
Yeah, like a mushroom stem. You don't even like mushrooms.
That's nasty.
I love mushrooms.
It's gross.
Yeah.
MCAS testing.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about MCAS testing? So MCAS is the way to qualify graduating. Once you finish school, you got to pass the MCAS in order to graduate. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
There's pressure.
Yeah.
Because you already have to do the SATs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But SATs aren't required to
That's
graduate.
just for that's just for
college admission.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I just don't think that there should be a standardized test that says that everything that I've learned from 1st through 12th grade is what I'm going to remember and remember how to write it correctly on this test.
Yeah.
As a non-tester, I just don't want that to, especially for my kid. He has an IEP. It's going to take him a long time to do everything. So I don't believe in MCAS testing at all. I hated it from the time that they said it.
I mean, I think that they should do some standardized testing, right? But not as a requirement for graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why standardized
But why,
testing?
like, they do quarterly testing,
But why?
right? Is that every school or is it just this boys' school?
I don't know. I don't think.
But it's quarterly testing. And I'm like, what do you
tests are a lot of
test so
pressure.
much for?
Yeah, I just don't. I've never liked standardized testing, period. I think there's a certain way to answer standardized tests that not everybody's going to know how to do it. And I think maybe I'm speaking personally. I hated it. From the time that I heard that MCAS was going to be there, I hate it. I just don't see, test me on the subjects in which you taught me.
Yeah.
If you want to do that quarterly, if you want to test me on science, and we have a science week, a testing week, and everybody's doing the test based on what they learned in that last semester, okay. But you're going to standardize, that means that everybody's getting the same test written the same exact way, same exact reading, and not everybody functions or learns that way. So I've always hated standardized tests. Period.
Yeah,
I'm never for that.
I don't like. I don't like to do no work, no how. So I don't want to test. I don't want to do homework. I don't want to do classwork. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, none of it. None of it. Not even a little bit.
I'm not a school person. But anyhow, yeah, I think that they should take that out. Honestly, they need that, but that's a lot of pressure. This is what Hempress Divine says. And I agree with that. So, yeah.
And then the other two were, the other two were state auditor, authority to audit the legislature. I don't know. That sounds like a misappropriation of funds. Unionization for transportation network drivers. Yeah, they should have a union. I think any group of people should have a union.
Is that the MBTA?
Yeah.
Transportation. Why they word it like that, though? Transportation network drivers.
No. That's Uber.
Oh.
That's Uber and Lyft rides. They want their union.
So did they pass the thing where Uber and Lyft have to make standard? They get that standard
Check it out.
hourly pay now. Did they? Were they able to pass
The
that?
thing is, with things like Uber and Lyft, isn't it something that you are? I guess it's like any other job, right? I feel like it's something that you have decided that you want to
They're
do.
contractors,
Yeah.
independent contractors.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why an independent contractor would need a union because you can just not do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just not.
But I think that this union question might be because they passed that thing where they get hourly pay.
Yeah,
If they get hourly pay, then
Yeah.
they should be unionized because now they are actual employees
Yeah.
instead of contractors.
Yes.
Uber and Lyft drivers who want the ability to organize and union bosses back will press the decisions into voters' hands this fall, pushing the collective bargaining rights as a necessary addition to gains secured in a legal settlement.
Okay. All
So
right.
they're settled. So
And then
September.
minimum wage for tipped workers.
Yes.
I agree.
That has long been something that I've not been passionate about, but have thought about because I really, really hate that these like waitresses, wait staff, and all of that. They only make like $3 an hour or something, and then they
Yeah.
live off of their tips.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I think that that's grossly unfair.
Me
so
too,
I think
because-
that they should at least get minimum wage and still be able to collect their
Give
tips.
me a little base pay because there's a lot of a-holes out here when you go to eat who
Right.
don't want you to be great.
And who were not pleasant like the lovely women that served us at Olive Garden the other day.
What did
I
we
don't-
give her for tip?
We gave her 20% plus extra.
Okay,
because
good.
she was amazing.
She
we
was-
didn't get her name. I don't know who she is. She
She
lovely.
should not work there. She should work in a child's facility helping children smile.
Yes.
Because she was amazing.
So pleasant. Oh my gosh, amazing.
I got you. No problem.
I'm gonna go back and get her name because
Here
I
you
loved
go.
her. I'm gonna
Me
go to
as
Olive
well.
Garden all the time.
So that's what's on the ballot. What's on the ballot for this day.
Yes.
Everybody that's listening to this show, you have absolutely no reason to not go vote at all.
Yes.
And I expect and I demand that if you are tuned in to Spark FM at any point, at any time in your lives, that you should go out and vote.
Absolutely.
Everybody, we want to make sure that we are telling our listening audience that we are super voters out here. And if you are a super voter, I want you guys to just drop a little star in the comment section. Let me know if you are a super voter. I would, because I am a super voter.
As well.
And that's all I got to say.
That's right.
I don't know if I am, but I am.
You're going to get there, Tristan.
You're
From
there,
the time that
Tris.
you wasn't before, you are now getting there.
Yeah.
So
Just
what
make
you,
sure-
how many years in consecutive and like
You
consecutive?
it just means that you're voting in all of the
In
elections,
all of the elections,
smaller
right.
ones too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been doing that recently.
You
Yeah,
make your
see?
presence be known up in here.
So next time that Russell Holmes comes in here and checks up your record, he can be like, "Oh,
Yep.
all right, Tristan."
Because Russell Holmes be knowing.
But he be knowing.
Shout out to Russell Holmes, man. He got them banners all over the city.
He
He
should
does,
do.
and
He
in
should
everybody's yard.
Absolutely.
I like Mr. Holmes.
Barbershop leaves one dead and one hospitalized. BPD Deputy Superintendent Paul McLaughlin said anyone who witnessed the shooting or has it on video should contact the Boston Police Homicide.
Oh my gosh, and I feel so bad because I shared that video to
But
you.
personally, his mom wasn't going to see.
Yeah.
One thing before disclaimer: if you do have access to the video, we ask that you not share the actual video publicly.
Right.
His mom has written a status message asking people to please give their family some type of peace.
Yeah.
Because right now, regardless of what that child was into or what was going on to spur something this heinous and terrible,
Yeah.
nobody deserves to see their child slumped over dead.
And then the thing is this, I didn't realize that it was a young child until this morning.
Was it?
Yeah, he was a student at
No, he had graduated 2 years ago, so he had to be at least
okay.
maybe 20. Well, he's still young. You're right.
Yeah.
He's still a young child.
Yeah.
So, a Boston Police Department is asking for the public's help finding a suspect in a shooting at a barbershop in Dorchester that left one man dead and another injured on Monday. Officers received reports of 2 people shot in Dorchester around 12:55 p.m. in the middle of the goddamn day on
the
Labor
middle-
Day.
Well, first of all, to pause, listening to the news last night, there were several shooting incidents across Massachusetts that occurred in early morning hours. I'm talking like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 12 p.m. What is going on?
We can't even put a curfew. The curfew gonna have to go the other way.
Yeah.
Between 9 and 5, you
Yep.
cannot be outside.
Exactly.
Because that's when you guys try your hardest to cause reckless havoc.
Endangerment.
Officers received a report of 2 people shot in Dorchester around 12:55 on Monday. When they arrived at the barbershop near the intersection of Erie and Washington Street, McLaughlin said they found 2 adult men suffering from gunshot wounds. First responders transported both victims to nearby hospitals where one victim died of his injuries. McLaughlin said the other victim has non-life-threatening injuries, and confirmed both victims appeared to be customers at the barbershop. One was literally sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Let's go to the story.
Well, Colton and JC, police are still on the scene at this hour. I'll step out of the way so you can see it for yourselves. So right over there, that's the barbershop. You can see crime scene tape up right in front of the barbershop. Investigators walking around, combing the scene for evidence at this hour. And earlier, we spoke with a man who actually says he's a family member of the man who died.
The grandfather.
I'm mad. With tears in his eyes, this man tells us his grandson died after the Dorchester barbershop double shooting on Monday afternoon. Police say 2 men were shot inside this barbershop on the 100 block of Washington Street around 1 o'clock and taken to the hospital where one of the 2 men died.
He was a good kid. Skinny, he wasn't threatening. If you look at him, you wouldn't be scared of him. Too light to fight. Look at him. Look like a baby in the face.
Police shut down this section of the street in front of the barbershop for several hours as investigators were combing the scene for evidence. You can see multiple green evidence markers on the street, with neighbors watching for behind yellow and red crime scene tape. With one of the shooting victims still recovering in the hospital, police tell us they're looking for the shooter now at large. Family of the man who died with a message for whoever pulled the trigger.
Hey, what comes around, goes around. And that's life.
And Colton and JC, police say they do not believe this was a random shooting. Also, they're not releasing the identities of the two men. Again, one of them died. The other one is still in the hospital, but is expected to be okay. Live this afternoon in Dorchester, Darren Botello, NBC 10 Boston.
The one that died was 19 years old.
Jesus Lord.
Angie says, my friend has it all on video. She watched it all. She has not shared it and wouldn't. She was sitting on her porch smoking. You can watch his music on social media. The guy that died, his name, he goes by E3. Mm-hmm. We know that his name was Eli. He was a student at, what school?
I don't remember.
Boston Arts Academy, I think, maybe. And I heard that he was just very, very talented and a good, and a nice person. Very, very unfortunate, very scary. I was actually in the barbershop with my son when I saw this, and I was like, shoot.
But so there was a shooting at T&E about a week ago.
This after the carnival night.
Oh, yep. They have since shut that convenience store down. I think the barbershop will be shut down for a while.
I was just thinking, like, there was a shooting that was a block.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that area right now, as we see it, has been very
hot.
Very hot. There's a lot of mass and cast unhome residents out there. There's a lot going on out there in general. There is a lot.
And he was a talented basketball player.
At the E3 videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a quick commercial break because our guest is here. We want to make sure that he gets out, and then we'll continue the Around the Way news and all the other news that we got to get caught up with right after this. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. Saucy and Friends.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You try.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Spark FM.
Wizzy boy, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Salsa.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at SparkFMOnline.com. Turn us up.
Tell me how you want it, yeah. Call me and I'm over.
Spark FM.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are back in the building. And like we said, this is our quarterly check-in. Somebody's hungry. This is our quarterly check-in with Chief Shagun. How are you this morning, brother?
You know, I was doing all right before I came here, but now I am
excited.
I'm very happy for you.
After this, we'll give you a quick tour.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people coming in here today, so I'll be here for most of the day because, you know, we got to tell people what's going on in here and make sure that we collect all of your information so that you guys can come to our official grand opening. So, Chief, how's it going? What's going on in the hood?
You know, we're out here.
We outside. We outside with it.
You know.
Today is Super Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It is a voting day, so I'm pretty sure you got a lot of places to be and go and do. Voting days for the economy in Boston mean what? How important is it for us to vote on today?
Well, every election matters.
Absolutely.
So today's primary day. So if you were registered as a Democrat or Republican or Independent, you go vote for who you want to see come out. Go head to head in November, and it's all these positions are important. I think today. So when I was voting, you're voting for your U.S. senator, your congressperson,
state
senators and reps, and then some of the positions that people don't really pay attention to, like Supreme Judicial Clerk, and you know who the counselors are, all that kind of stuff. So
it's so interesting how people get so excited and riled up about the presidential election, and we'll go back and forth about Trump and Harris over and over again, and we'll go to bat and we'll be there for hours. But when it comes to our local elections, the ones that matter, the ones that are the most important, these questions that are on here as well, you know, these are the types of things that people don't get too excited about. They get, you know, like, oh, it's just this, it's just that. No, these are the ones who decide what's going on up there.
Exactly.
These are the ones that we should care about the absolute most. So it doesn't matter who's voting for Donald Trump or who's voting for, Kamala Harris. It won't matter if you guys don't vote on these elections right here.
That's right.
Massachusetts is a blue state in general, and we haven't been turned for a while.
Yeah.
So yes, what is this? How are we looking on the economic side, the inclusion side? How are we looking at opportunities here?
Yeah.
How are our numbers looking? Are we getting more funding? Because I might need some.
Yeah. In 30 seconds or less, how's the economy doing? We're doing great.
Yes.
You know? Everything is perfect.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Interview over. You know. Well, I'll say a couple of things. So first, is there more money coming? You know, that's why it matters who we elect as president and in Congress, because the way that Boston's been able to give out all this money is because Congress passed trillions of dollars a few years ago, and then we got some ARPA money, and that's how this beautiful, well, partly why, I mean, your ingenuity and money from other places helped make this place happen. We were happy as a city to help.
Big shout out to the space grant. Blah, blah, blah. I think the third one just got released.
It's going to be released shortly. We had $1.5 million left. We were, and I know that there are people still waiting to hear back. We're delayed a little bit. I was trying to find some other money to add because, you know, $1.5 million sounds like a big number.
It do, but it's not.
Carve it up, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's coming out. We got our refresh grant program out there. It's about $15,000 for food establishments. We got $500,000 for that. So we encourage folks to apply to that. So we do have a little bit of money left that's going out. But after this money is gone, you know.
What are we supposed to do then?
unless
go hit up the feds.
We can call on our federal officials to get some more money out there.
And is it like, what are people? You talk to a lot of businesses. You visit a lot of businesses. Besides the money that a lot of businesses still need, capital and stuff like that, what are some other things that they are really needing help with that your office helps with?
I mean, since my days at Beckman, now here at the city, it's like, one thing I've come to realize is that everyone wants a check, right? And that's not even just a business, right? I mean, in our personal lives, if someone would just give us a check for 15, 20,000 or more, right? We feel like we'll be all good. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, people win the lottery and then they're broken, 2 years, right? So for how I look at it is, I want to know what you would spend the grant money on, and then I want to figure out the way to have the city cover those things so that you don't have to worry even about going through our grant process. We'll just do it for free. Right?
Oh, yes.
So if it's business planning, if it's web development, if it's marketing, all that, the city provides those things for free through our technical assistance program. It's free to the business. It's not free to the city. I mean, that's still tax dollars, right? But at the end of the day, we're cutting out an expense item. So those are, there's our Restore program, which in the next few weeks, we're going to be launching some changes to that program to make it more efficient, easier, giving more money through that program. But anyway, so point is that we might not have grant dollars left, but we do have services that will cut out expenses, which is kind of like a grant anyway, to your business.
Your office also covers the Wake Up the Night grant too, that just recently went too. So a lot of people applied to this grant that they were giving out $10,000 to activate the city for free events for the community, doing different things. A lot of people got those grants to be able to do a lot of the really cool things that you're seeing around the city. Why that one? Why something like that too?
Yeah, and like a politician, I'll add some more stuff to open the door. So, one of the things that the mayor launched about 2 years ago now is the Office of Nightlife Economy. Corrine Reynolds has been in this role for about a year now. And one of the things that's come out of her work and talking with different stakeholders and folks in community is that we need just more things happening in our communities after hours.
Which is so crazy because I always be like, there's so much things going on in this city, I can't keep up. And they were like, more. All right, I'll go.
But also more things that aren't reliant, because one thing, a bunch of people applied for this role. Everyone wanted to be the nightlife czar. But a lot of that was because people think, I'm nightlife czar. I'm about to be rolling up on clubs, making sure everyone's having fun, all that kind of stuff. I get free bottles. That's not what's happening.
So no free bottles?
Not for the nightlife.
When she came in and we spoke to her, and I was like, oh, so you don't just hit up the club every night?
She was like, unfortunately, no.
But I said to the final candidates that the real purpose, one of the things you're going to be working on this job is also helping us to redefine what is nightlife, because especially in Boston, nightlife is go to a bar, go to a club.
To a show.
That's kind of
that's
kind of it, right?
Yeah,
that's partly why we're not known as a thriving, nightlife scene, because it's relegated to a facility, and those things close at 10 or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But if we have so much outside here, so these grants are meant to help stimulate lots more activity in open spaces. And to support people and organizations that have already been doing good work, and so that's what's come out of this. We'll hope for some more money for the next year to support more of these events.
I love that.
It's dope. I was gonna say it's dope to see that, because we see times are changing as we progress, and you see that there's so many different things that are being added to nightlife now, or nightlife. I mean, being outgoing in general, so it's dope to see that they're doing things to activate that.
And we want to include more people as well, because again, when you think about nightlife, or at least when we talk about nightlife in this city, look at any article, they interview someone between 18 and 24, usually a college student who's coming from outside of Boston, and that's it. And it's like nightlife is not just for It's not just for younger people. It's not just for college students. It's for everybody. And so if you look at the spread, even for these events, it's covering all ages, right? It's not just this younger crowd. It's young adults, our generation. It's older folks, it's families, because people don't want to be cooped up at home. Every
My
day.
problem with the older folk parties is that I need them to confine that into daytime hours because as I get
everything
older,
like, oh, this is happening. Is it a day party?
Is it a day
No, it's
party?
not a day party. Do it got seats? Forget it. Just don't come, Sauce. Just stay home. Forget it.
if it's gonna be at the nighttime, it got to have seating for me to be able to sit down. And if it's gonna be a party with no seating, it got to be in the daytime and it got to end at 7 because it's time to be in the house.
Make that a requirement.
Please put that in there. There are other things that are going on. I know that one of the things that we always talked about was supply diversity and those contracts that are going out and the numbers that are associated with them. Has that changed, increased any in the last couple of years?
Yeah, last year we put out the report that showed that we jumped from 5 to 12% in a year. And there'll be another report coming out this year around the same time, probably in the early November time frame. One update that we will share in the next couple of months, and I guess the next time I come here, is we launched something called the SCALE program last year. So SCALE stands for Supplying Capital and Leveraging Education, which,
Y'all love the name.
Love acronym. It's acronyms. It's like we will find the letters first and then find the words that fit.
We wanted to mean this. This word.
But the whole point, again, a lot of this stems from my days at BACMA where, I always heard two things. One is we can't find them when they said that's why black businesses didn't get contracts. And the other would be, they're not big enough. So the purpose of the SCALE program is to do both of those, to put several $1 million out on the street. And it's kind of like space where we're going to award a couple $100,000 to different businesses across 5 different categories. And it's categories where the city spends a ton of money. So you're thinking about trash, you're thinking about snow removal, you're thinking about food. And then the other 2 are related to construction. And the city spends billions of dollars in these across these different
We know
fields.
about construction.
Yeah. And so the purpose of this program is we have hired 5 different organizations that are going to we're going to put out the grants later this year. They're going to award these contracts, these grants to different companies who will then get the technical assistance they need to go from where they are right now to scale to a size where they could compete for the large contracts at the city level, which also sets them up for competing really anywhere, whether it's on the state level, federal level, or even for private sector contracts. So it's like we're trying to create, Daryl Settles, who owned Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen.
Yes.
And, it's
Trying to find the acronyms.
Right, DCB.
Yep. DK. Yeah.
But he was a founding member of BACMA, and I remember when I first joined, he said to me, it used to take me more than 2 hands to count the number of black businesses that were really, really successful in the Commonwealth, and today it's just 1. And what successful meant was making multiple millions a year. You have several hundred employees. You're not just in Boston. You're in other areas. So my goal, in this role, is to make sure that we are getting to a place where across different communities, not just black, but that we have multiple large businesses that are employing people, generating millions of dollars, and are competitive on the open market.
Do you think that the stigma of Boston being like a
racist?
Yeah. No. Well. No. Do you think the stigma of Boston not supporting black businesses, or do you think that's changing?
I think it's
or the narrative that.
It's harder for black businesses?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that. So
because there's been so many in the past 4 years, there's been so many activations and so many different groups that are out there doing a lot of work to change the narrative and to change how it looks.
Yeah.
Do you think it's being told, or that's a better question? Do you think it's being told?
I think that even onto that question, are black people and smaller businesses really taking advantage of the opportunities out here? And is it being marketed enough so that they know that they are there. Because what we're going to continue to run into is people saying, oh, I didn't know. And like, how are we finding out about these things?
Okay, so there's multiple questions here.
Answer all of them immediately.
So I asked my question because obviously, we have we have influx of black-owned dispensaries. We have the restaurants. We have the mayor's cabinet. We have a lot of people that are out there doing a lot of groundwork. I know there's the parcel P3 that's going on. So there's a lot of groundwork that's going on. But I still don't think that it's being told. Like, everybody always hears that, like, the old narrative of Boston. I don't think this current generation right now, what we're experiencing, what I try to tell everybody is like what I say, what's my thing?
Renaissance.
A renaissance. It's a black renaissance going on in Boston right now, including, look at the Celtics. They're contributing as well. But is it really being told?
If only there were, a communications entity in the city of Boston that could tell that narrative. If they were like related to radio or had like all these social media channels, if only.
Just clean and clearing my throat.
We outside.
But I think that's a good question, and I think there's multiple ways to answer it. I will say that a couple of things. One is, I think on an individual level, the people who are receiving the opportunities know that it's changing and are then sharing it. Absolutely. I think it's more difficult on the community level when some of the other areas of attention. I mean, right now we're talking about what just happened last night, and we're sending our condolences to the family of the young man that was murdered 24 hours ago. When things like that are still happening, I think it gets difficult for people to believe that community-wide change is happening. Yeah. I think also, two other things is, one is I think we are our own worst critics in Boston.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We were in a meeting with the mayor a couple weeks ago, and we just with some folks to talk about the narrative just of Boston in general. Forget just the black community, just in general, Boston. And Bostonians we will to the death defend the city.
We will fight you if you say anything bad about our city.
And at the same time,
we will talk trash.
It's like nothing has ever. You talk to anybody, nothing has changed since 16.
We talk about us. You don't talk about us.
It's all been the same.
Yeah.
So we're our own worst critics, because if you outside of Boston, I think many people, Boston in general, look at Boston like, wow, look at all the great things that are happening there. Now, for the black community in general across the country, no. And so I think it gets difficult for us to believe that of a narrative of change when we're told also by everyone outside of Boston that everything is that, because the racism happens everywhere, every single day. Everywhere. America is steeped in racism. It's
rooted,
right? But when an incident, someone at a Celtics game, a guy from Methuen, yells out an epithet, that makes national news. It doesn't happen the same way in other cities or towns, and it kind of reinforces this idea that Boston is a racist place. I think the other piece of it, though, is that it has to be sustained. So you're right that things are changing. I certainly believe it. I see it. I'm part of making it happen. That's the mayor's vision. At the same time, though, if it doesn't continue, right, then, look at Atlanta. Atlanta was the capital of the KKK, right? That's where they came together, right?
Yeah, that's where they bonded.
Formed.
And
yes.
Yet, what is it today? What is it called today? It is called Wakanda. It is called
the Mecca.
Exactly. And so, but the reason that changed is partly from some of the things that we've been talking about, supply diversity, et cetera, but also it's been sustained. And so we have to do that in Boston. Absolutely. And sometimes in Boston, we get really, really excited with symbolic change.
Yeah.
And our focus has been substantive, so that when Mayor Wu is no longer mayor, 50 years from now, when I'm not in this role, we can talk about the black millionaires that have been created, that that spark is not just, first of all, you have this space that you own multiple properties across the Commonwealth, that you're nationwide. Like, those are legacies that we have to create in order for the narrative to change.
Let me ask a personal question, and we'll probably end on this one. For you personally, you have been the lead on a lot of these charges, or really kind of intricately involved in making these changes. is there a lot of pressure on your part as a black man fighting for the justices of black people? Some feel like, oh, he's the best. Others feel like, oh, the boss is not doing nothing. The narrative is still there. What is it like for you to be at the helm and the chief of this, economic inclusion and opportunity?
Well, first of all, this is the best job I've ever had.
Okay, I love that. Yeah.
All the things that I yelled about at BECMA, I was like focused on, for 3 years I was at BECMA saying, we need more of this. And then within a year just of me being in this role, we did so many different things, let alone the 981 days I've been here. So that's paramount for me, that I get to affect the change and to build a team that is impacted in this way. Our whole cabinet reflects the community, and we are impacted by these decisions. So there are days where it gets a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what I know is that I also think about, like, would things have been better off if we weren't in these roles versus the fact that we are. And I know that, despite the momentary frustration, it matters that we're here and that we're making this impact. And, again, look at where we are. Look who I'm sitting across from.
What do you do for self-care?
Yeah, I'm not really good at that.
I got to start asking those questions of high-functioning people, because I always want to know, like, how is it that you wind down at the end of, saving the world?
Yeah. I mean, I sleep in suits as well, so I think I don't know.
I saw you in jeans the other day.
You did not. Show me the picture. Yeah, exactly.
I have a picture, I think,
there is no...
because I was talking to my...
You have jeans.
Perfect.
And sneakers.
Fake news.
Sneakers. Yeah.
There's no photographic evidence.
I was so excited because I was like, I always, especially for black men in this time, we're seeing a lot of black men, who are under a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. We're seeing them, getting sick and whatever like that. And we got to protect black men too.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing it here on the radio, but I hear it, almost every day at this point, and not just from family folks. And I believe that. So, yes, more of that.
More of that.
To come.
More rest.
Yes.
More rest.
Yeah. Comment.
We have a quick comment. Several sports stars refuse contracts for Boston teams. Many professionals, lawyers, engineers, TV reporters would start businesses in other cities because of perceived lack of options for black people in Boston. And, I think you just kind of answered that, but I'll let you take that.
But even just... I don't know who made the comment, but thank you for that.
Schneider!
Yeah, and I think it's always, all the changes that have been happening, we can't, again, like I said, Boston loves symbolic change. We love to herald ourselves for, look at that black.
Yeah.
That got the thing.
Yeah.
Look, that means that we've made change. It's like, no, it needs to be systemic. It needs to be sustained. But even in that comment, the perceived lack of. And so you actually asked a question in the series of questions about how do we get information out there. I will say that, a lot of the programs that we've put out there recently, I mean, listen, I always maintain, like, we're never going to reach 100%.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of the people that see the stuff that we're putting out there, it's because people want a thing and then are actively looking for what's out there. Like, I think we also need to step back from this notion that things should just fall in front of us. I mean, the algorithm is what it is, and if you weren't already looking at government stuff, you're going to go see government stuff.
Say that.
So that all said, though, the resources are there, and we are finding every way that we can, whether it's, coming on shows like Spark, using social media, emails, but going to events, billboards. We do everything but text you the information. And one reason we're staying away from that, number one, is public record law, but also, I don't know how many of you, if you vote, I don't know how many text messages you're getting.
Super
from Kamala
voter
Harris
here.
Right now. And all these different candidates running. We're not trying to be annoying. But, I would say whatever is the best way that you receive information, we want to know, because that's how we want to reach you. But, we need you to, we will walk across a football field, but we need folks to take 1 or 2 steps towards us as well. Because we're doing everything we can, but folks need to take advantage of the opportunity.
People need to go out and look for it.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that answer, and I appreciate you making the time out all the time to come and check in with us. I think it's really important. I just wanted to let people know that there is a business plan workshop that is taking place on September 13th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Civic Pavilion in Boston. So if you guys are looking to start a business, get into any of these supplier diversity situations, or start to find out information, now is a great time to contact that office, the Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion. Make sure that you guys are, if you are serious about becoming one of these people that ends up being a millionaire later and all kinds of stuff, you got to start somewhere, and it starts with you actually looking for this information. So we'll post, we often share the things that are going on. Go to Boston OEOI on Instagram if you guys are social media people, and just follow the page. Literally everything that they doing, they post on there, and you're not getting that from too many other cities that are actually shoving the information in front of your face so that you know it's there. Yeah, so make sure that you guys go follow the page. You can go and Google Boston Office of Economic Inclusion, and all the nice letters, and you guys can find out this find out all this information if you just look. I've been trying to encourage people to Google is your friend. You can find everything. Just type in a bunch of words and put Boston at the end of it. It will show you something that you can find, and click on it. If it's not that one, click on the next one. Duh. And it's right there on the first page. So again, Shigun, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Give you a quick tour as soon as we leave, and then we'll get back into the rest of the show. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. This is Saucy and Friends, and we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
What is that? Spark FM.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
In our democracy, your vote matters. Make your voice heard. Get registered. Seek out reliable reporting on the candidates and issues, and vote on or before November 5th. Visit vote411.org. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Spark FM.
Perhaps I was addicted to the dark side. Somewhere inside my childhood when this my heart died. And even though we both came,
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
I me no stop love how the girl them flex. The hand close and make a next girl face. Me no stop love how the...
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
Oh my darling, oh my darling.
Spark FM.
Vibe with me, I'm feeling lonely, baby. You should come and slide on me, yeah. So just come over and get high.
You're listening to Spark FM online.
And we can't come in, but you the one I just can't get enough with. Yeah, you the one I really, really with. Yeah, you the one I might just fall in love with. Pretty little jitty, I'm the hottest in the city. He's saying that he like the fact he's with me. Blew a bag on the, gotta keep it dripping. I told him I'm a shorty shooter. He say you the illest. I ain't playing with you, boy. I'm telling you to slide. Roller coaster, sit back, enjoy the ride. I got what these on, it's on you to decide. You don't need no second option, just make up your mind. Yeah. Come now, I'm so high, don't wanna come down. Hit it all night, don't want just one round. I just wanna fool to the sun down. Show me what to do, cause I don't make love. He say he like me without no makeup. Everybody else showing me fake love. They don't know if they love us or they hate us, hate us. You know I like it when you vibe with me. I'm feeling lonely, baby, you should come and slide on me, yeah. So just come over and get high with me. Yeah, and we can't come in, but you the one I just can't get enough with. Yeah, you the one I really, really with. Yeah, you the one I might just fall in love with. And we can't come in, but I ain't this that you be stuck with. If you wanna fuck with me, you gotta show me something. Gave her in my trust, he took it and started running. Ooh, we don't know why you talking, come and do me. Playing with my body, come and use me. Baby, you don't really gotta love me, but other been doing it was because me. Damn, I just wanna have you to myself, real from the mud. I ain't never had no help, and honestly, I'm feeling that I ain't never felt. Yeah, I just been dissing, I don't know if you can tell. You know I like it when you vibe with me. I'm feeling lonely, baby, you should come and slide on me, yeah. So just come over and get high with me. And we can't come in, but you the one I just can't get enough with. Yeah, you the one I really, really with. Yeah, you the one I might just fall in love with.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
I was talking for Miami.
Oh, but why not?
Shout out to Shay Bands. That was music from Shay Bands right there on the Spark FM.
Shay Bands.
How's my girl doing? I haven't been keeping
She was out in Worcester Carnival.
Oh, was she?
She was. She was out in Worcester Carnival bagging people. That's what I heard.
I hear. Let's just get into we keep on going down the local news. We'll probably get to this today. Logan Airport, Kevin Kengathy back in U.S. to face murder charges. This is the man who killed his ex-girlfriend in the Logan parking garage. Got on a plane to Africa, got caught, escaped caution, got caught again, and now he's back.
Yep, now he's back.
And I hope they give him the death penalty.
It's something. Firing range.
Firing range.
Firing range.
Yeah, electrical chair that doesn't quite electrocute him.
Yeah.
Just fries him up a little bit.
Yeah, just
zizzle every 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
A Kenyan man wanted in Massachusetts to face murder charges has been extradited nearly a year after he fled the United States. Kevin Adam Kingathe is wanted for allegedly killing his girlfriend Margaret, whose body was found in an SUV at Logan International Airport on October 31st. Damn, that was a year ago?
Yeah.
Kingathe left Kenya's capital on Sunday, and he's set to face murder charges at Suffolk Superior Court in Boston on Tuesday. Kenyan Director of Public Prosecutions Renson Ingonga said. Here goes the clip right here.
At Logan Airport on October 31st. Now, after the body was discovered, investigators learned Kangete bought a one-way ticket to Nairobi. The FBI says they've worked along with the Kenyan authorities to bring him back to the Bay State after charging him with unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Kangete is expected in court tomorrow and is set to face murder charges.
I think he's awful.
He's the worst.
He's like, you can't be strong and wrong.
He looks so like
matter of fact.
Yeah, and when he was in the court videos that I was seeing, and I don't like that about him. Very smug, and that's disgusting.
Especially after you just take somebody's whole entire life
right.
and left her in the car like a dog.
Yeah.
Like that's you don't even treat dogs like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hundreds of workers strike at Boston hotels over Labor Day weekend. I've been here. This has been brewing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Local leaders showed their support for the workers at 4 local hotels, including venue at the annual Labor Day breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of workers at 4 local hotels went on strike Sunday after their contracts expired at the end of August, which affected the venue of the city's annual Labor Day breakfast. The workers at Fairmont Copley, Hilton Boston Park Plaza, Hilton Boston Logan, and Hampton Inn Homewood Suites Seaport began their strike Sunday morning at 5 a.m. NBC 10 Boston reported that 900 workers went on strike after no contract came for months of negotiation since April. Hotel workers at 35 hotels represented by the union voted to authorize a strike on Friday. Workers at 4 hotels ultimately went forward with the strikes. According to a representative for the union, the strike will end at 11 p.m. on Tuesday. So that's today. The spokesperson said the workers will go back to work without a contract after Tuesday as they continue to fight for better wages and fair workloads. Interesting. They went on strike for a day. Oh, no, for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Oh, the weekend. Oh, I see what they did there. They were like, I'm going to hit y'all where it hurts the most. We're going to go back to work and continue this fight backstage.
Yep, the busiest time for them.
Yep.
Also, they were having like a big breakfast that's annually held there at the hotel yesterday for some politicians. I think Elizabeth Warren was there and a few other people. Okay. Those politicians did not cross the picket line. They chose to have the breakfast brought outside to them instead of going into the hotel crossing the picket line, which was really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
It was Representative Ayanna Presley, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Mayor Wu, said Ed Kent Markey, and other politicians. That's good. I'm glad they didn't cross the picket line.
And Mayor Wu was showing with a little belly.
Let's see the belly.
Oh my God, did they show it? No, they didn't show it in this thing, but they did show it earlier.
Every year it's a tradition for all of our unions and also the workers and our community leaders from across Boston and beyond to come together and really recognize the contributions that the labor movement has made.
And as hotel workers continue their fight, Democratic leaders like Congresswoman Ayanna Presley, who worked in hotels herself for 6 years, want union members to know that they stand behind them.
I wish we did not have to be here, but we will continue to organize, we'll continue to fight, we'll continue to push until these workers get what they deserve. Workers' rights are human rights.
And this afternoon, there is also a rally that will be held for residents and interns at MGH and a march in support of 32 BJ workers. Live in Boston, Brianna Borghi, WCVB News Center 5.
Well, listen, hey, y'all got to do what y'all got to do.
Yeah.
Because shit.
I think their sign said one job should be enough. So
yeah.
what are they?
They're not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
One job, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I do get that. I believe that jobs should be, if jobs don't want you to be out here getting side hustles or paying attention, they got to give you fair wages.
Yeah.
And I believe that living in Boston, Massachusetts, you should be compensated for being in this expensive ass city.
You know, the one time that I felt like this is how it should be was during COVID, and we were getting those double checks.
Yep.
I was like,
you're right.
This is how it should be, because you saw everybody's putting the money back into their community.
They were visiting
dumping the money
stores. They were outside shopping.
Yeah.
Like people couldn't stay out because they had money. So it makes more sense to give people enough money to be able to buy things.
Right.
It's gonna come right back.
When you strengthen your people, you strengthen the economy.
Say it, sis.
Hello.
And this is why we need reparations.
Hello. you said it wrong. You supposed to say why he was here. God damn it.
Oh, damn it. Call him back.
Suspect bit off part of Chelsea police officer's ear during a domestic incident. All right, Evander Holyfield.
Right. How's he supposed to hear what you got to say?
Chelsea police officer had part of his ear bitten off while responding to a highly volatile domestic incident. The officer is in stable condition but will require further medical attention. He seemed like he got it worse than Trump. Because Trump only got grazed. This guy got his ear bit off.
Did Trump get grazed?
They said, he didn't get it.
Why they ain't never showed us the ear?
What happened? Nothing happened to Trump. What happened? What you talking about?
Yep, you're very right.
We forgot about that.
Why
You're
they
very
never
right.
showed us the ear?
Because the ear should have been made into a molded gold piece and put it in a glass plated something if he had gotten shot. Because you know that's what they would have done.
Exactly.
They would have all made plastic ears with the little bullet sticking out of it and wore it at the convention. Because
As
them
earring.
people are gone.
Cook.
Cabbage.
Shout outs real quick. Shout outs to ADSL. They had their backpack giveaway.
Oh, yes, we did go to that.
Go to that. We had a lovely time with DJ Live. We were out there. We got lots of pencils and crayons, bike helmets, and other things that they were
burgers and hot dogs.
Burgers and hot dogs, and it was a good time.
So yummy.
Yes.
So the officer is in stable condition but will require further medical attention. Officers went to 207 somebody street on Friday afternoon after reports of a domestic disturbance. The statement said one officer was allegedly attacked while engaged in the incident, which resulted in the suspect biting part of his ear off. Police said the suspect is Carlos Daniel Sanabria, who is currently in custody and awaiting charges. The identity of the injured officer has not been made public. Well, that is terrible. I don't want nobody to bite my ear off.
I really don't. I don't like nobody around my ear anyway. Don't mess with my ears. I don't.
You like little kissing ears and little
I
licking
don't
in
like
your ear
it.
hole?
Don't
Just
do
leave
it.
your ear all wet,
Ugh.
like a wet willy.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Lawrence police seek public's help in finding a missing woman. They are looking for Carol Flas Burgos, she's 37, was last seen in the area of 590 Broadway. Police said in a statement shortly after 3 p.m. Monday. Police also shared her photograph on social media. At 2 p.m. Saturday, police received a report that Flas Burgos was missing. Since receiving the initial missing persons report, the Lawrence Police Patrol Division and Detectives Division, with the assistance of Massachusetts State Police, have been investigating the case. And if you guys have seen this woman, Carol Flans Burgos, 37, please alert the authorities because they would like to find her. A PSA from Stockholm about Carney Hospital. Good afternoon, Stockholm family. As of Saturday morning, yes, we did witness the closing of Carney Hospital was placed on the code black, closed, not taking any patients, and closed for good. In the past 55 hours, there have been 24/7 coverage by ambulance in case of anyone showing up in the ER with an emergency. The coverage will continue throughout the week until Friday. Over the past few days, there have been multiple people showing up to the ER with emergencies. This just goes to show how vital the hospital is, not only to the entire healthcare system, but also to the community. It has been a staple of the Dorchester community since 1863.
1863.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
This close is very unfortunate, but also very costly to the public. Kearney Hospital is a common location for walk-up shootings and stabbing victims, oftentimes when them being dropped off at the ER. Furthermore, this closure has put an immense amount of stress on Boston EMS. Since the closure, there have been several hours where there are no
Building
EMS
your
units
online business?
available with the closure. EMS crews in the Dorchester Mattapan area now have an extended turnaround time, being the only hospitals to go to. The BMC and by Milton, in the past 55 hours, it has been very apparent that Kearney Hospital is a vital part of the community. Change needs to happen sooner or later. The closure will end up hurting people due to extended EMS responses, transport times. We hope that our Stackles family can help share the message and shed more light onto this situation, as it is very, very unfortunate. Here is a clip from the closing. In the meantime,
These
if you
two hospitals, and then the second one is just plain worry about where they're going to get their health care needs met going forward. It's the new normal in Dorchester. Ambulances speeding by Kearney Hospital, which, as of tomorrow morning, will shut its doors to patients.
Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. is going to be heartbreaking. This is close to home.
Now, for locals, it's the end of a sad saga and, in many cases, the beginning of a nightmare.
I really thought there was going to be a miracle, but the miracle never arrived.
Mary Reardon cares for her special needs sister and sees Kearney as critical for both care and community.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do now with her, with emergencies or medical treatment.
But Dorchester benefits from other hospitals and resources around it. In more rural areas like the town of Air, Neshoba Valley is an oasis in a healthcare desert, which has locals fearing what comes next.
This isn't Target. This isn't Best Buy. Hospital. So how did this happen? How did so many people not realize that this is important?
And as both communities scramble to lay out next steps, local leaders say they're trying to find solutions.
We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that this site becomes another medical institution.
I don't want to give anyone false hope, but certainly there's a little chatter that something could change after this weekend.
So y'all gonna close it all the way down and open it all the way right back up?
You will make the people take out all the goddamn equipment out of there and empty it out, and then we like open it.
Right.
But she's right. How did it go? The thing has been open since 1836. 1836.
Yeah.
How is it that the hospital got that far into debt to the point of closing a major hospital in the middle of Dorchester?
Yep.
How did it get to that point? And I know it's too late to ask those questions because we're already all the way to the end of the road. But I think it's disgusting how a large hospital like Kearney has shut down. And this is crazy. Like, if you do have an emergency and end up at the Kearney, Boo Point Ambulance will be posted at the Kearney Hospital for the next 82 hours, ready for an emergency, and will transport you to the hospital if necessary. City and government officials need to recognize the severity of this situation and help find, because there's residual effects to the closing.
Absolutely.
Like they're saying, anybody that shows up there who's not on social media and don't watch the news, how the hell would I know that the damn hospital is closed?
Yeah.
How would I know?
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's so sad. And
shout out to the staff that have been working there for so long.
Yeah.
You know, Kearney had a very, very active inpatient psychiatric ward.
Did they?
Yeah, and now, you know, of course, the hospital's closed and that's gone, and that is a very, very critical part, especially in our community and in our area, for there to be, you know, a psych hospital available. So that part is very, very disheartening.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing, but especially that, I think.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
We only got a chance to go through our local news. Bobby Steele is up next. There was...
Don't forget politics from Prosecco.
Yeah, politics and Prosecco. If you guys want to learn more about the elections that are going on today, so that after work that you are ready to receive some information, we are encouraging you guys to listen to Politics and Prosecco from 1 to 3 p.m. today. Again, we'll have Senator Liz Miranda, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, Mayor Michelle Wu, Governor Council candidate Mara Dolan, State Rep candidate Harris Hardaway, and Governor Councilor Marilyn Devani will be here to talk to you guys about not only their platforms, but what to expect on the ballots for the primary state elections here in Massachusetts. That is from 1 to 3 with Jaquetta Van Zant here on Spark FM online. Share the flyer. Let a friend know what is going on. With that said, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Keep it locked right here, Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. This is Saucy and Friends. We'll see you later.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Tues.
Broadcasting live worldwide. This is
Spark FM.
Broadcasting live worldwide. This is